like for Luke Shaw. A younger Luke Shaw with a little bit more drive. English player is going to be English business within English teams. So for me, he's the perfect candidate. And he's shown it last season. You know, even when he had these one-on-one with Lamine Yamal, I think that was the breaking point. Everybody actually went for him at this moment of time.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. The Guimaraes link as well. I mean, I haven't heard any links between Man United and Guimaraes. Well, actually, you're obviously closer to it than I am.
I was going to say, it was very interesting, because in the spring, actually, I don't know if you remember, there were a lot of links between Bruno Guimaraes, a few of the other clubs around the Premier League, and Manchester United were one of them. But, it was my understanding at the time that those reports were very wide of the mark. They very much admired Sandro Tonali, but you look at the price points for these players, Manchester United weren't in that ballpark. You look at Elliot Anderson, what he went for in the end. We looked at Mateus Fernandes for Tottenham. Yeah. Again, someone Manchester United really liked. But actually, I would argue, you mentioned they needed bodies in. And for 84, 85 million, the same price, Fernandes went to Tottenham. They got two players there. Let's not forget, Tielemans has years of experience
like a good signing,
in the Premier League.
For me, he's the...
He's won trophies at both clubs.
He won trophies and he's reliable. You don't really think about, is he going to get it? Is he not going to get it? He's the one going to bring you a little bit more, so because he can see things a little bit quicker. The football IQ of Yuri Tielemans, honestly, is second to none. But actually, Manchester United, they need that. When I say aggression, hear me out. They need legs. They need somebody that's going to be able to allow the other flair player to play their game. You talk about the Mason Mount. He's not a natural grafter. Yeah. So you need somebody that's going to graft naturally, that's going to enable the others to play their game. That's what we call the complementary. I think at the moment, they have the same style of midfielder. Andre Santos, he's left-footed, he's got legs, but he's not that sitting midfield that's going to sweeper to allow the likes of Kobbie Mainoo to be a little bit more creative and to do his things. Right now, the likes of Kobbie Mainoo, they would have had to do a little bit more, a bit too much, instead of concentrating on their superpower and what they do well.
That's the aspect they're still replacing of Casemiro, essentially, is that those defensive abilities. But look, let's see what happens in the next few weeks.
What about Marcus Rashford? Could Marcus Rashford put on a Man United shirt again and be out there at the start of the season? Could it happen?
It's quite incredible. We've seen him in two different shirts since the last time we saw him in a Manchester United shirt, obviously for Aston Villa and now Barcelona. It was very interesting. Look, a lot of last season, I think his future seemed more likely away from Old Trafford going into this season. That has obviously changed. Barcelona didn't take up the option to sign him on a permanent basis. I think there were different reasons for that. I spent a few days with the Barcelona camp when they took on Birmingham over the weekend, but a few days before that. And I asked Hansi Flick himself why they didn't take up the option. And he even admitted he misses Rashford. The team he's sensing is missing Rashford. They all appreciate his free kick against Real Madrid, which all but secured the La Liga title. But essentially, they chose to go for Anthony Gordon instead from Newcastle. Now, Marcus Rashford is a great asset to Manchester United if they can get him back to the level he showed after the Qatar World Cup. We haven't seen that Marcus Rashford in Manchester United shirt for a long time, though. We saw him at the World Cup have glimpses, but I also think we saw aspects of his game that maybe previous managers haven't appreciated. The defensive side of the game, which is maybe why Barcelona didn't end up pursuing him long term. As I understand it, he is more likely to be a Manchester United player after deadline day, and we can expect to see him in a Manchester United shirt very soon. I think him and Kobbie Mainoo expected to join the team the next week or two. Should see him in Dublin when they take on Leeds next week. So it'll be very interesting. I also just wonder, just finally, I know I'm going on a little bit, if his future isn't at Old Trafford, I do wonder when the season starts, if there is a big team in the Premier League or Europe, results don't go their way, I think he would still provide a solution for a team like that.
What do you think is better for Marcus Rashford himself at this stage of his career? Is it to go back to Man United, or is it to turn over another new leaf and go somewhere else?
I reckon Marcus Rashford is better away from Man United. No, for the simple reason that he's from Man United, and I think unconsciously he kind of not relaxes a lot or too much, but he's too comfortable at Man United. He's from there. He's born there. He grew up there. So every time he went away, he had that impact. Marcus Rashford is a terrific, for me, player. Honestly, he's so talented. He can have impact. But unconsciously and subconsciously, Man United is home. And every time he went away from home, he had that kind of spark. He had that impact straight away. Now, the business of football is a bit difficult. Is he going to be able to get away again? The other team going to be taking a chance on him? I don't know. But at Man United, the only positive side that I see is Michael Carrick. With the way, I don't know, his aura, I think he's the type of manager, the type of man, not only the manager, a man that can really get into Marcus Rashford and have a one-on-one conversation, and more than one-on-one conversation, have a real work throughout the season to on the human side, get the best out of Marcus Rashford, help him transition that part. If he can do that, you'll have a superstar again, rising up back again.
Feels like we've talked about Marcus Rashford in the last 10 transfer windows. And I think we're going to again, aren't we? But it would be amazing, wouldn't it, to see him back in Man United.